RealAgriculture.com's coverage of Cropweek 2012 in Saskatoon is brought to you by Nodulator XL, accelerated performance, accelerated yield, and Cantera Seeds, yes you can, and FarmLink Marketing Solutions, market analysis works.
Sure, my name is Todd Nagy and I'm the sales manager for the application equipment with Kramer Ag. Kramer Ag is a Saskatchewan company with 7 locations in the province.
Okay, so what's behind you here?
We're looking at the 2012 Rogator model. This one in particular is an 1100 series. For 2012, Rogators now come in the models of 900, 1100, and 1300. And really all that is just the tank size. So an 1100 model is an 1100 gallon tank. And what's new for 2012 is we're looking at a different engine in this unit. It's a CSU engine, or AGCO powered engine, which features the E3 technology. The big thing with this one is an 1100 model, you're going to have a 311 horsepower engine, but it's going to give you better fuel efficiency, and it's going to have exhaust that comes out cleaner. And that's all going to be done through this tank right here, which is a urea tank. And so you're going to be putting urea into your exhaust, and when it comes out cleaner, it's going to be cleaner, more pure of a product for the environment. So it's going to be a little bit better for the air that we breathe. Specific though, when you start looking at some of the features of the new engine in this model, it's a lot quieter of a cab. And right now, when we start looking at some of our competitors who have an engine at the back of their machine, naturally that's going to be a lot quieter because that engine isn't right in front of you and you're not picking up that noise. But with this engine, even though it's right at the front, we're going to be only 2 decibels louder than some of the industry-leading technology. And so I'm not sure exactly what 2 decibels sounds like, but I guarantee you, you can't pick it up with the human ear. So that's good. We're going to be able to have conversations with our customers in the cab. Similar to we're talking right now, it's that much quieter. So secondary, we're looking at some of the additions or changes that they made. You're looking at the boom height here. So when you look at the cab, for example, when you're roading this machine down and you're taking it from field to field, you have a lot better visibility in and around the machine. So you're being able to pick up the traffic coming down from either side of you. Also, if they're crossing train tracks, which is a big safety hazard, we're making sure that visibility is a lot better. Also, what they did is they changed up the design of the tires for 2012. So in the past, the kingpins has been more on an angle, and so that means the weight distribution of that tire was offset. And so when growers were rounding corners, they were leaving ruts in their field. What they did though is they changed the angle of the kingpin to more of an upright position. And what that'll do now is that puts that weight distribution on that tire more of an even distribution level. And so it's more centered within the tire. As we move forward this way, also a nice feature is they've taken this stabilizer arm and they've offset it. So in the past on the older models, they've been more of a parallel up and right on top of each other. Well, they took this and they staggered it, and that's going to take away some of the sway of the machine because now all the machines come with an air ride capacity and an air ride cab. And so you're going to have a lot more comfort and a smooth ride going across some of those bumpy fields that have been worked with some of the equipment, no-till equipment. As we move around the back here of the machine, you'll see here, this tank right here is your fuel tank. There's both a right and a left side fuel availability. And that's a 150 gallon tank. So not only are you going to be getting better fuel efficiency, but you have a bigger tank on your machine as well. As I mentioned here, this is your DEF tank. This is where the urea goes in. This gets filled up at a 3-to-1 ratio to your fuel tank. So for every 3 fills of fuel you do, you're going to have 1 fill of urea. And there's alarms and buzzers that go off in the cab if your urea is getting lower. Also, when you start looking at the storage compartments here, a nice feature here is they've sealed it a lot better, so you're not going to have the dust and everything getting in here and not quite as dirty. On the fill station here, everything is at a ground level, so everything you need to operate your throttle, for example, and everything's done here at a fill level or at the ground level component. So what's happening then is you don't have to run up and down inside the cab and back down to fill up your machine. And then as we move around the back side here, not a lot of changes have happened into the boom structure, and strictly for the fact that it's been that's one of the features of a Rogator, is that it's very well put together. A lot of custom applicators like the hardiness of it. But a nice feature is the greasing of the machine is all done at one grease station right up there. So A good rule of thumb is the harder it is to access the greasing points on the machine, the less it gets greased. Well, right now we have one there and then one on the other side, so it's a lot easier to grease this machine.
Yep.
One other point here that I want to point out as well is up top, you can see your rinse tank up there is black, and that's been done on purpose. That color's been changed from instead of being clear, it's been to black, just so it doesn't promote algae growth. On some of the clear ones, on a hot day, you leave some water in there for a few days and you'll get algae growing. Now with that black color, you're not going to have that. Those are some of the features of the 2012 Rogator. Thank you for stopping by.